Day or night, da 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 da. How did that is very popular. Hello, everybody. It's just your friendly neighborhood INFP, and it has been what some might consider to be a dog's age. Now, as the weird thing for me at the beginning of the video, there's been a song stuck in my head by I don't remember the artist. Doesn't matter. Not what we're talking about today. You guys would probably be able to tell me down below, or I'll probably figure it later because I believe the song's actual name is Day or Night. So, with that being said, I have a theory. Specifically between early birds and night owls. Why are we talking about early birds? Why are we talking about night owls, you might ask? Well, my idea, my theory, my think tank is that there are going to be some types who are more night owls and some who are more early birds. Now, this is, shall we say, to be taken with a grain of salt, because, or with exceptions. There's going to be exceptions to the rule because my sister is an INTP and she's a freaking early bird and it is super annoying. So what I'm about to say may sound very contradictory despite the fact that I have a sister who is an INTP who is an early bird. What I'm trying to get at here is that my theory persists on perceivers being more night owl based, especially intuitive perceivers, but then that goes against the whole my sister being an early bird who freaking wakes me up early in the morning, or at least she used to. She doesn't do it so much now that I do that to myself, unfortunately. I don't want to. Anyways, Vlogtober is here, and with this is going to be, of course, the first video, and I'm very curious, so let me know in the comments below what your type is and whether you're an early bird or a night owl, and why, if you know why. That is oftentimes a hard topic to kind of figure out, because I'm still trying to figure out why I'm a night owl and my sister's an early bird, and why other people are early birds and why other people are night owls. But my theory is that nighttime is typically the time when the most creativity is due to whatever brain activity happens at night. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a brain neuro whatever, but my theory is that due to whatever activity happens at night, you're dreaming, whatever, that's when you tend to be the most creative. Thus, people who are typically the most creative tend to be more prone towards night owl activities. I myself find that as an INFP, most of the stuff that I do on at nighttime are typically like a lot of my poetry at nighttime that's when the best work happens. That is when a lot of my ideas are. That's when if I didn't have to wake up so early in the morning, bring me to over 1,000 subscribers, maybe 10,000. No, I don't know. Probably won't happen at the end of this year. It'll probably take 4 more years. But I digress. Once I get there, hey, maybe I can quit my job. Who knows? Anyways, with the night being at least I perceive it as a more creative time of day than early morning and all of that, because usually when I'm thinking early morning, when I'm thinking daytime, I'm thinking you're doing like a lot of day productive stuff, if you will. I'm thinking you're, work. There's freaking house cleaning, child taken care of, and then okay, so that's the one theory. Then the other theory is the time of day you're born might go towards, I could be entirely wrong, I'm just saying that when I was born it was like 3 a.m. in the morning, and I've always been a night baby, night owl, night guy, Nightcrawler, not the one from X-Men, although that would be kind of cool. I've been just a night type of guy. And so I've been thinking, when it comes to like perceivers, are they too night owl-y, exceptions aside? But then I started thinking about INFJs, INTJs, ENTJs, ENFJs, And my thought for that was maybe it's not so much a perceiver thing, maybe it's an intuitive thing. But then I started thinking about ESTPs, ISFPs, ESFPs, and ISTPs, in which case there is a shift there too, where a lot of them that I know tend to be more active at night. Yes, they'll do work during the day. They have to. It's part of the job or whatever they've got going on. Or yes, they will do night stuff because that's part of their job and whatever. But if you had all the money in the world and you didn't have to go to work in the morning, would you be the type of person who would already get up in the morning at disgusting hours that should not be mentioned? Or are you the type of person who would prefer to stay up past disgusting hours that should not be mentioned? I'm part of the stay up past disgusting hours that should not be mentioned group, obviously. So there's that. And then there's the fact that maybe it has to do with creativity. Maybe it has to do with how creative you are in your MBTI type. But then, once again, when I'm thinking about certain MBTI types, is it the creativity thing, or is it because nighttime gets silent in some places so that your brain is allowed to think, but then for other people, their brain is more active earlier on in the day? So, all in all, my theory here is that my bet is that you're going to have probably more perceivers who are going to be night-based, but maybe it's more intuitives, but even that doesn't sound right. See, this is what has been keeping me up for like the last 2 days while I've been trying to figure out what video to put out, is like, what MBTI types are night owls? And my gut instinct here is most INTPs are probably going to be night owls. Ignore my sister for a moment. Most INTPs probably going to be night owls. Most INFPs probably going to be night owls. Most ENFPs also probably going to be night owls. Most ENTPs, hit or miss, but also probably more night owls. I don't see Elon Musk as a kind of morning person, and yes, I do see him as an ENTP. I am dying on that hill. And then you've got INTJs, and then the whole, Batman and like other INTJ figures in media typically stay up at night during disgusting hours, doing whatever it is that they do, philosophizing, fighting crime, inventing something, scheming. There's a bunch of stuff that an INTJ could be doing during night. Some wholesome, not some, but then they could also be morning people. When I'm thinking of an INTJ, I am thinking of a person in a study who's got lights on, it is dark out, and you go there to have a philosophical, theological, whatever logical discussion with them. So I'm going to put INTJs as night owls. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know if you're an INTJ and you're an early bird. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to distinguish what. Then you got the ESFPs, ESTPs, who are typically party people, but then ESTPs are more I feel like ESTPs, between ESTPs and ESFPs, I'm thinking ESFPs are probably going to be more night owl based than ESTPs. I could be wrong. I could say, here's what I'll say. I think ESTPs will probably swing both ways. They could either be night owls or they could be early birds. It really depends on what kind of other factors are involved in that and what their job is and yada, 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 how much they like it, yada, 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 all that good stuff. ISFPs Because they are typically artists, I think they are the most out there when it comes to sleep patterns. In fact, I would say they probably have the most eclectic sleep patterns of all the types, just due to all the things that they may be trying to do, and some might just be at odd hours of the day where you're like, why are they? What? So they honestly, across the board, just right across the board is what I'm thinking for ISFPs. ENTJs, typically the thought is that they would be early birds so that they can go and conquer the day. You can't conquer the day if you're waking up late and, everything's closed during nighttime, so best get it on during the day or whatever. But then you have the ENTJs who are like, nah, screw that. I'm going to do it this way instead. And about conquering the day means the entire day, not just the morning. It just depends on the hours that you put into it to get to where you want to go. So probably across the board there, depending on what they're trying to achieve. ESTJs, I am thinking they are probably early birds. ESFJs, probably early birds. ISFJs, I also see them as early birds. Probably, making a wholesome breakfast. Same with ESFJs. Probably making some wholesome breakfast and getting you ready for the day, or getting themselves ready for the day. ISTJs, definitely see them as early birds. However, if they're in tech programming or any computer related business whatsoever, probably a night owl. It just depends on what their job is, which will then depend on whether they are more prone to being an early bird or prone to being a night owl, and where their schedule falls in that particular aspect of their life. I've been putting way too much thought into this. Who have I left out? ENFJs. A lot of them are youth leaders and other leaders. So depending on whether or not they need to lead during the day or night, some are probably going to be more prone to being night. Some are probably going to be more prone during the day. So once again, probably depends on what their goals are, what they're trying to achieve, and what they're naturally attuned to. So I'm going to say probably a mix of the two. INFJs, I also see INFJs as INFJs. I almost want to say they're more night owl than early bird, but then I'm probably going to get INFJs who's like, no, actually I'm an early bird because da 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 da. So once again, I'll put them with the ENFJs. It depends on where they line up and what they're trying to achieve, what they're trying to do, and the people who are closest to them. Who have I missed? Have I missed anyone? ISTPs, just as long as they're allowed to make stuff, build stuff, fiddle with stuff, doesn't really matter. Time of day, screw it. What the job's whatever time they have a job. And their hobbies will go literally any time of the day as long as they're allowed to work on it and aren't keeping other people up. So typically they'll probably do most of it in the day, but if they can get away with doing it during the night, they'll probably do it during the night. I'm pretty sure I've gone down the list of all the types and what they are probably going to be in whether night owl or early bird. And I'm not talking when does a job force you to wake up here. I'm talking if you had the choice, would you rather morning or night? And yeah, that's my thought on this. And ironically, I am doing this at nighttime because fitting. Almost coming into the disgusting hours I should probably be asleep levels of nighttime. But yeah, do let me know what your personality type is, and if you had the choice, whether you would rather be a night person or an early bird, and what you've typically been through the vast majority of your life. When other factors haven't controlled when you needed to wake up and all that jazz. Basically, let's say you're on vacation or you've got enough money to not need to worry about work except for the own work that you do because you know that you're that type of person. do you wake up in the morning to do it, or do you say, screw it, we ball in afternoon it is to the nighttime? Yeah, that is it for the first video of Vlogtober. I'll see you guys next time, and look out for Love Dr. Phi at some point. Bye!